Hey there, everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice, and welcome to another presentation of the 2019 Mets using Payoff Pitch Baseball. We're joining the action at the top of the fourth. The Mets have a 5-0 lead, particularly thanks to a 3-run home run by Michael Conforto. John Lester's on the mound for the Cubs, and it's Jacob deGrom on the mound for the Mets. It's not usual that Jacob deGrom gets a 5-0 lead, but he has one in this game, so let's see what happens, see if he can hold on to it. So Jason Hayward's going to lead it off in the top of the fourth. Here's the pitch from deGrom. That's a 6. A 6 is a patient, a 79. And that's going to be a little ground ball and through the right side. Conforto plays it to McNeil. Hayward's on with a single to lead off the top of the fourth. Next is Nick Castellanos. Here's the pitch to Nick Castellanos. That's an 8. A tough 74. And, that's just almost a hit. Fly ball center field. Lagares over, makes the catch. I'll tell you quickly, the lineup for the Cubs is Hayward, Castellanos, and now it's Bryant in the third hole. The cleanup batter is Baez. He's on deck. Then it's Carantini at first, batting fifth. Batting sixth is Russell. Can't remember his first name. And it's Luke Roy batting eighth, the catcher, and John Lester batting ninth, the pitcher. For the Mets, it's going to be Rosario, McNeil, and Davis in the third hole. Batting cleanup is Alonso. Batting fifth is Ramos, the catcher. Batting sixth is the right fielder, Conforto. He's hit a 3-run home run. Then it's batting seventh is the Todd Frazier at third. Batting eighth, center fielder Juan Lagares. And batting ninth is Jake deGrom, who has a double today. All right, so it's 1 out, and it's Chris Bryant. And that's a pitch. It's a niner, a tough 96. And that's a fly to left. Over is J.D. Davis. 2 out. And it's Baez now, cleanup hitter. Javier Baez. That's 275 versus righties. That's an 11 tough, a tough 20, and that's strike 3. And deGrom blows a fastball by Baez. Baez goes down in disgust. Throws his gloves, throws his helmet, drops his bat. Not happy. Juan Lagares leading off. Bottom of the fourth. That's a 5. That's ballpark 34. That's going to be wheelhouse. Wheelhouse against the lefties, 1-13. And we roll a 53, and that's going to be a fly ball deep right field. Back goes Castellanos towards the track and makes the catch. Castellanos got a good jump on that ball. Jacob deGrom was 1 for 1 today. He hit a double earlier. He's up again. 5, that's ballpark. 79 is going to be in play. The pitcher hitting card 10. A 58 is going to be a pop-up. Caratini. He's under it, makes the catch. Top of the order for the Mets with 2 outs in the fourth. The Mets are up 5-0. If they hold on to this game, we'll be a 3-game winning streak after a 7-game losing streak. That's an 8 tough, a tough 44. And that's going to be a strikeout. Oh, no, that's going to be a ball that's Ahmed Rosario pulls one down the line past the diving Bryant. And that's going to roll into the corner. And the speedy Rosario around first and into second base, takes a big turn. And the ball comes into Baez, and Rosario goes back to second with a 2-out double. Now I did something a little bit different. I added batters face to the cards. Both deGrom and Lester have 25 batters. And the way I'm going to do this, they both have, Lester's faced 19 batters and deGrom has faced 13 batters. So the way I want to do this is once they get to those batters faced, they can go until they give up a run or a hit. Once they give up a run or a hit, I'm going to pull them. I think that's a fair way to do this. Because if they're getting out after out, they're really dominating. Why am I going to pull them after 25 batters? But if the 25th batter, after the 25th batter, if he gives up a walk or a hit, then I'll bring in a relief pitcher. I think that's a very simple way of doing this, and it adds a little bit more detail and personality to just the 6. Okay. In the 6th, he becomes fatigued, right? If he's given up 3 or more runs, like, for example, Lester in the 6th would become fatigued. Okay, but I'm going to go by the 25. which I think it could happen before the 6th, could happen after the 6th. It depends. So this is one thing I'm asking Joe to do, to add the batter's face next to the fatigue. I think that would be something that everybody could use, and just, make it a little bit more in depth, particularly for the newer seasons where pitchers, get pulled early and they're counting. There's a pitch count and all that. So there's 2 outs, bottom of the 4th, and it's the flying squirrel, Jeff McNeil. Here's the pitch. 5, ballpark 0-1. So that's going to be wheelhouse against a lefty. 1-19, and that ball's out of here. It's an 82, and that is grounded to second baseman Russell. Flips to first, and that retires the side. All right, Victor Caratini against Jacob deGrom. Now I'm using the loud dice tower. It's early in the morning. I realized that, but I got both doors shut. That's a 5, a tough 26. That's a strikeout. How many strikeouts is that for deGrom? deGrom so far in this game has 6 strikeouts. Lester has 4. So Caratini down on strikes. Addison Russell. That's a 4. That's a ballpark. 91 is going to be in play. In play 23, and that's line base hit center field. Played on a hop by Lagares, gets it in. Frozen rope to Lagares off the bat of Addison Russell. Now I remember his name, Addison. Tony Kemp, left-handed hitter. Tony Kemp versus righties, batted 169. Here's the pitch. That's a 4. 4 is ballpark. Ballpark 31. That's off the pitcher's card, and it's not a wild pitch there. Let's see. I don't want that. Why did that happen? Hold on. I just got. All right, so a 31 is not going to be a wild pitch off deGrom. So we're going to take that 31 on a 4 on a ballpark. Ballpark 31 is going to be wheelhouse. Wheelhouse against deGrom is going to be a 13 home run. So we're going to re-roll 37, and that is lined and caught by the shortstop. Rosario timed it perfectly, went up for it, brought it back down. I have to, and on double twos, it's a double play. That's another house rule I created. So when you roll the 2 dice for the result, if it's a line drive and it's a double of any kind, or actually I could roll again if it's a double. Oh, double ones. That should be a double play right there. Okay, so I think I'm still working on it. I'm still developing it. I said double twos, but it could be double twos and double ones. Or it just could be double ones. It doesn't happen that often, but it is a line drive, and it should be easier for McNeil to double him off. If he's at second, it should be okay. I got it. If it's the shortstop, it's double ones. If it's with a runner on first, but if it's a line drive to the second baseman with a runner on first, he's got a better chance. So he would be double ones and double twos. So something like that I think fits. But right now I'm just still working on it, just analyzing it, and I'll talk to some people about it, get some feedback. I'm not in a big rush. Tough, but they don't. The game doesn't come with double plays on those line drives. So 8, tough, a tough 65, and that's going to be line base hit left field. Russell with 2 outs is going to go to third, and we can almost for sure. He should be a 6. Yeah, he's a runner 6, so 6 goes automatically. It's abstracted, and he takes the extra base. So now Lester's up but you see, this is the situation. Lester's faced how many batters? He's faced 20 batters. He can go 25. We're down by 5 runs, and it's the top of the 5th. So I mean, if we pull Lester now, we're going to have to bring in, and he's not a bad hitter, but we're going to have to bring in 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5, 4 pitchers. You have to bring in 4 pitchers, and that slows down the game tremendously. So I'm going to try to let Lester bat here. There is 2 outs. If there were 2 men on with 1 out, I would pull him. But since there are 2 outs, you know what? And he's a 10. He's a decent hitting pitcher. I'm going to let him bat. And here goes. Here's the pitch from deGrom to the lefty. John Lester. That's a 4. Ballpark, a ballpark 68. That's going to be in play. Goes all the way up to 22, and we roll a 58, and that's going to be popped up. First baseman Alonso, he's there, puts it away, and that retires the side. All right, J.D. Davis. That's a niner. That's a tough 52 against and that's going to be a little ground ball and through into center field for a base hit. Leadoff batter, singles. Davis not a threat to steal. Pete Alonso's next. And it's a 6 in play 32. In play 32 is a comebacker, and it will be a double play 6 and a 7. It's a 6-4-3 double play. What did I say? It was in play 32, and that takes us to a 1-6-3 double play. And it's Wilson Ramos, bottom of the 5th. I forgot that one. 5-0 Mets. That's a 6 off Lester. That's in play 60-97. 97 in play is a fly ball. Skied to left. Tony Kemp, and that retires the side. Jason Hayward leading it off against deGrom. It's the 6th for both pitchers now. Let's see how many they've gone. Lester's gone 23, and deGrom's gone 18, so they still got a way to go. So I don't have to worry about that 6 right now. 4. So that's going to be a ballpark off deGrom, and a 0-2 is going to be Wheelhouse. Wheelhouse against the righties, 1-43 on Jason Hayward, and that's a 57, and that's a little blooper that may drop in, and it does. Jason Hayward sticks out the bat and sends a little dying quail out there, and he drops in front of J.D. Davis for a single, leadoff single for Hayward. And now it's the righty, Nicholas Castellanos hits a boatload of doubles. He's a big-time doubles hitter. That's a 5. A tough 19. That's a strikeout. So deGrom gets him with the high cheese. And that's a 5. A 5 is a tough. A 0-4 is a K. Down goes Bryant. Back-to-back strikeouts for deGrom. deGrom now has 8 strikeouts on the day. In the 6th inning, it's Javi Baez with a runner on first. That's a 3. That's a tough 0-7 is strike 3, and deGrom strikes out the side after allowing the leadoff single to Hayward. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Lester still has a couple of batters before he becomes fatigued. I want to keep them in there. I mean, he's one of the workhorses. That's a 4, a patient 46. And that is ground ball and through the right side. Base hit for Conforto. He's on at first. Todd Frazier now. The Todd father, a 7 is a tough, a 52. And a 52 is going to be lined base hit. Played on a hop by Kemp. And it's a 1 base. So Conforto stops. And that is going to be it, I believe. Let's see. Has he reached his max? He's reached his max of 25 batters. So there's nobody out. He's allowed the first 2, so we're forced to bring in a pitcher here. We didn't want to do that. We didn't want to bring well, he did give us 1 extra inning, which is something. All right, so we're going to bring in let's see, Brandon Kinsler to face Lagares. Brandon Kinsler. Here's a pitch from Kinsler in the bottom of the 6-5 nothing back. Let's have 9 hits, no errors. That's a 9 is in play, and in play 61. And that's going to be a ground ball to second base, and a 9 will not be a double play. Will be a fielder's choice, 4-6. So Conforto over to third. Lagares is on at first. Let's see if Lagares steals on this. He needs a 3 to steal. He doesn't get it. And it's Jacob deGrom at the plate with first and third. Only one out. Infield's in. 5, a patient 88. And that is a ground ball to the shortstop with 1 out. That's when they attempt to score. That's my rule. So they're going to attempt to score. I'm going to look at this chart real quick. We got to roll on the chart. I can never find the right chart. Oh, there it is. Runner advancement chart. All right. Wait, I don't want that one. I want the one that says infield in. Here it is. Infield in chart. Okay. If base is loaded. If base is not loaded and the roll is 7 or more, no, it's not. Then see the batter. If base is not loaded, okay, base is not loaded. So I'm going to look down here, and on a 5, the base is not loaded, or the 2d6. So use the geo result, refer to fly out, put out, or line outs. All right, so it's a 5. Batter out, runner holds. So it was a 5. It was what? Patient 88. So I'm wondering if I could still use that same roll. Anyway, it doesn't. I really don't care that all that much at this point. 6-3, runner advances. That's the way I'm going to play that right now. Well, the runner at third holds, but the runner at first advances. So it's going to be a 6-3, and runner at third holds. Okay, runner at first moves to second. So second and third, top of the order. Rosario. So it's going to be a 9, because the game system seems to override my home rule. My home rule is that there's a play at the plate, you see, but I have to find that in the where I have to go to look at. Oh, play at home. You see, I would, according to my rule, I should look here, and then I should compare the 2D total of the runner's run rating. Compare the 2D total to the runner's run rating. If equal to or less than the run rating, the runner is safe. So that's the one I should look at next time. But I'll hold on this time because I'm still testing out the waters here. All right, so it's a 9er. It's in play and a 29. In play 29. And, oh, that just misses the base hit range. And that's popped up middle of the infield. Russell calling for it. And he makes the catch, and that retires the side. Jacob deGrom. How many pitches has he thrown? deGrom has pitched 22, so he still has 3 more. All right, he's going to face Victor Caratini. That's a 9er. That's a tough. A 0-2 is a strikeout. So 1 up, 1 down. deGrom to Addison Russell. And that's it looks like a 3. A 3 is a tough. A 28. That's a K. Back-to-back strikeouts. deGrom's dealing right now. And now, 25th batter, Kemp. That's a 6. Patient 76. And that's a fly ball. Shallow center field, racing in his Lagares. He gets there, and that retires the side. So until deGrom gives up a hit or a run, he's going to use his same card. A little bit different than how the game does it, because I'm using the batter's face. I wrote it in right next to the fatigue rating in pencil. These are PDFs, so I can write on these, make notes, different notes that I'm interested in making. Jeff McNeil. Now we're going to bring in a new pitcher. We're going to bring in David Phelps. Oh no, he's red. I think I used him a couple times. And we have lefty. Who do we have coming in? We got a righty. 2. Okay, we got 3 righties. So what we're going to do is going to bring in Steve Cishek. So Cishek's coming in, and he should be okay to pitch, and he is. Haven't overused him. So Cishek comes in, is going to face McNeil. I have all the relief pitchers ready from this series. That way I don't have to start, filing through everything I have here. I have a whole table. I don't know if you've seen pictures on the net of my headquarters, my command center, my tabletop baseball command center. And that's going to be an 8, a patient off Cishek, and a patient 69er. Patient 69er is going to be, he gets plunked. McNeil takes one on the elbow The elbow guard protects him, though. Lucky they have those nowadays. I don't remember Steve Garvey Popeye forearms with those. I don't think he could have found any that would have fit him. Man, that guy had some large forearms. J.D. Davis. Runner on. Nobody out. Cishek. That's a niner. That's in play, an 88, in play 88, and that's going to be a ground ball to short. That niner is not going to be a double play. So that's going to be a fielder's choice, 6-4. So Davis on at first. Pete Alonso steps into the box. That's a 6, a tough 86. Tough 86 for Alonso is going to be a shortstop. Ground ball ripped to short. This is going to be an easy double play. 6, 4, 3, Baez, Russell, Caratini, and that retires the side. I hate when I do that when there's a runner standing on second. I forget the guy's on second. I play a double play, and I realize, oh, wait, it's not offering me that option. And then I look, there's a runner on second base. All right, top of the 8th. deGrom's still in there. Pitching a shutout, 4-hit shutout. 6, that's patient, a patient 46 to LaCroix. And that's line base hit center field. LaCroix's on with a single. Stroked one. Played on a hop by Lagares. Gets it into McNeil. And now it's pinch hitter time. We're going to bring in Ian Happ to pinch hit. Let's see if I could track the this is who it is. This is the Cleveland Indians. That's played them in another couple of days ago. That was a long 14-inning game I played. All right, Goslin is there. I got cards everywhere piled up high. Let's see what we got going here. I think I found them. Here. Oh, no, that's the Mets. The Mets. These are all the Mets pitchers and batters. And I think I found them. Okay, I found them. So we're going to bring Ian Happ to pinch hit. There he is. All right, so Happ steps into the plate against righties. Happ hits 273. Batting from the left side. Oh, deGrom becomes fatigued. So that's going to be it for deGrom. We're going to bring in a new pitcher. He becomes fatigued. You know what? Let's use a fatigue card for deGrom. Let's see what he can do with a fatigue card for a little bit. Brad Brock, and Paul Sewald. Brad Brock, Paul Sewald warming up. And it's 5-0, top of the 8th. Nobody out. LaCroix's on first. So the Cubs have a little bit of a ways to go if they want to, start up a rally. Get a rally going. They have to get a few more hitters and a few more base runners and a few more hits and to get close, score some runs here. So it's Happ and the fatigue pitcher card from deGrom. They'll probably go one more. 7, that's wheelhouse. That's the thing with, but this is a 30. 30-31 is a fatigue pitcher wild pitch. So that's going to be a wild pitch. So going to second is, so deGrom seems to be losing it. Here's a pitch to Happ, a 10. 10 is patient, a patient 73. And that's a fly ball center field. Now, LaCroix could tag up here, but down 5-0. I got if it's a deep fly, let's see if it's a deep fly. It's a short fly, so he wouldn't tag up. All right, so it's Jason Hayward, top of the order now. Here at Citi Field, Flushing, New York. Hope you're enjoying the game, the broadcast. And Jason Hayward facing off against deGrom with 1 out, 1 on. And the last batter was here's a pitch. It's a 4. 4 is in play and a 34. In play 34 takes us to a ground ball comebacker. And this is going to be deGrom turns around and throws it to Rosario. And Rosario, the relay to first, and it's a 1-6-3 double play. So the Mets and deGrom get out of the inning just like that. That was a quick one. Again, There's a runner on second. I told you I do that. So it's 1-3, and Lucroy is going to hold. Not going to risk going to third down by 5 runs. So it's going to be a 1-3. Wait a second. I got to do this in. I got to do this in the other place, because otherwise he moves up. So it's a 1-3. All right, 2 outs now on top of the 8th. deGrom is still in there. He's going to face Castellanos. It's a 12. That's in play, 71. In play, 71, and that is lined and caught by second baseman McNeil, and that retires the side. So, new pitcher for the Cubs. It's going to be Rowan Wick. Rowan Wick is going to come in. Faces Wilson Ramos. Here's the pitch. And that's a 4, a patient 95. And that's popped up left field. In comes Kemp. Back goes Baez, and Kemp calls him off for out number 1. In the bottom of the 8th, Mets are up 5-0. That's a 4, a patient again from Rowan Wick, but it's a high number, 90. Oh, and look at that number on Conforto's card versus a righty. That's going to be a little ground ball and through the right side into center field. Castellanos plays it into Russell. It's a 1-out single for Michael Conforto. Todd Father Frazier against Wick. Oh, no, don't go. Well, I just caught it. Off the table. That's an 8. An 8 is a tough 26, and that's a K. So Todd Frazier goes down, chasing the pitch way out of the strike zone. And it's Juan Lagares with 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Rowan Wick. Sets and deals. That's defense. A defense 69 is going to be, it goes up to 73, so it's got to be an error. And it's a shortstop error. It's a shortstop error. Baez. I doubt Baez is going to be a terrible shortstop. I doubt that. And he's a 3, and that's not going to go up that high. Because he would have to be a 1. He's a 3. So, and what kind of an out? Well, it's a ball to the ground, to the shortstop. So he's going to go 6-4. He bobbles it a little bit, throws over to Russell, and that retires the side. No error. Okay. All right, top of the 9th. We're going to bring in a new pitcher. Not going to push deGrom anymore. And we're going to bring in Brock to finish this off. There will be no save opportunity here for Brad Brock in this situation. He's got a 5-run lead. Just going an inning. Pretty simple task. Let's see if he can manage it. So I got him. There he goes, and deGrom is out. deGrom went 8 innings, gave 5 hits, no runs. So it's Chris Bryant leading us off in the top of the 9th. Mets are 3 outs away from a victory, which is nice to see. That's a 5. In play, 96. And an in-play 96 is a fly ball driven to left field, and back goes Davis, backing up on the track and makes the catch. So Bryant gave it a ride, but just didn't have the carry. Baez is next. Baez with an 11. That's in play, 0-9. That's going to be pulled down the line into the left field corner. It's going to bounce off the wall and roll away from Davis. Baez around second, going to try for 3, and here's the throw to third, and not nearly in time. Throws offline, and Frazier has to go grab it, bring it back. But that's a 1-out triple here in the top of the 9th. 5-0 Mets. Victor Caratini, infield's back for the Mets. That's a 5er in play, 10, and that's going to be off Brad Brock. That's a base hit. Scores Baez 5-1. There goes the shutout, just like that. Addison Russell. It's a 3. That's an in play, 81. And that's a ground that is short. The 3 is going to be a 6-4-3 double play. and the ball game's over. It's going to be Rosario, flips to McNeil, the throw to first. Alonso scoops it, and it's a 6-4-3 double play. The ball game is over. The Mets win. The Mets win. So that was a blast. I always have a good time when I see my Metsies win. That was nice. And Jacob deGrom is going to get the victory. John Lester gets the loss. deGrom improves his record to 15-4. He was 11-8 in reality, but that's almost impossible to replicate considering he had a 2.40 ERA. John Lester falls to 6-10. deGrom, of course, gets the MVP. Let's look at the box score, see what we get. J.D. Davis had 3 hits. He raised his average to 310. He's a 302 batter in reality. Pete Alonso went 1 for 4. Conforto had 3 hits, raised his average to 274 with 3 RBIs. Conforto hit his 28th home run of the season. I think he had about 33 in reality. Baez had his first triple of the year. That's interesting. And Kinsler, Cishek, and Wick pitched in relief for Chicago. Brock came in at the end, gave up a run. His ERA is 4.67. deGrom's ERA is 1.89. Had 11 strikeouts in this game with no walks. So that was an outstanding outing by Jacob deGrom, number 48. And that's it. We go to next now. It's going to be a series against for the Mets. It's going to be a series against the Philadelphia Phillies. I got to cut them out because I'm using PDFs. So I'm going to be cutting them. Oh wait. Oh man, this is the wrong paper. Darn. What kind of paper did I use here? Oh, this is good. Okay, the last 2 sheets are on the wrong paper. So that I don't like. I don't like when that happens because now I got to redo those and waste the ink. But this is I got to get a new cutter. I was looking for blades. I don't see any blades. So I got to get a new cutter. $13. But this thing lasted me for a year. I think I bought it last year. See, it's tearing the cards. It's creating a problem. It's tearing the cards. See that? So that's not good. So let's see what happens here. We may have to use the. Let's see. Let's do the edges a little bit, and not get so close to the. So I like to do this behind the scenes stuff after some videos. When I do a quick game, I like to do a little behind the scenes with Cards and Dice TV setting up. Oh boy, what the heck? Really bad. All right, so we're not going to use this anymore. Let me see, maybe it needs to be cleaned. Terrible. Let's do one more. Let's see, it's tearing up everything, so we're going to have to stop cutting. So we're going to have to put our PDFs aside. Let's move this a little bit off the line because see what happens. No. Not going to work anymore. It's out. Doesn't cut anymore. It's over. It is over. So let's get a scissors, see if we can save these cards. I mean, they're only PDFs, so it's not the end of the world. And plus, this one, there we go. So I'm going to have to cut this set with. I actually have another cutter that's a bit larger. I like this one because it was smaller, but I guess this one's going. I don't know. I got to find out where I can get these. Where I can get these blades. Ooh, hold on. Huh. Where can I get these blades? Let's see if I can do this one on the side here. Give it one more chance. Oh, it may have had a little piece of paper stuck there. That cut pretty nicely there. Hold on a second. It may have had a little piece of paper that was messing it up, wouldn't let it cut, and it was just ripping my cards. So let's try the middle here. Let's see. Oh, it's still working. Oh, boy. It had a little paper stuck there, and since I don't see very well, I couldn't see it until I looked very closely, and I saw, oh, I see. All right, so this is going to be a little sloppy, but I'll tidy it up around the edges. I'll make it nice. You know, it'll be good. These are. I may have to put a little tape on one of these, a little bit. So let's. We're going to practice on these. This is actually the fringe player, so it's not the end of the world. These guys won't be seeing too much action. Yeah, it's still cutting. It had a little piece of paper that was stuck to it. It was giving me trouble the last few, and I was like, wow. I started looking for new blades, but it's still cutting pretty nice. I mean, these are, look at that. So far, so far so good. I'm going to use a little bit of Scotch tape on a couple of the cards there, on a little corner. So this is behind the scenes with Cards and Dice TV. This is what I'm doing right now. I own the actual card set. I own the actual card set, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to sort them all out because you got to sort them all out. I didn't feel like that. I said, I don't want to sort them all out. So I said, let me just print up some PDFs and do a little cutting. And now it's cutting perfect. Look at that. It's cutting gorgeous. Cutting beautifully now. So now we're gonna have a beautiful set of cards. Very easy. It's a great cutter. Lesion makes this cutter. You can get it for $13 on eBay. And what do you call it? You can get it on Amazon. You get everything on Amazon, right? I mean, Amazon does everything. I mean, that's an amazing company. I'm going to play the Phillies. It's a 3-game set against the Philadelphia Phillies. Towards the end of August 2019, last year. After I finish this season, I'm going to replay it again. Simply because 2019 is going to be the season we're going to be replaying for a while. Since we don't have a 2020 season. But that's good because a lot of the companies are going to come out with more retro seasons. And I love retro baseball. And if you go to MLB Network, you can watch some of the old games. That's great. And that inspires me big time when I see those old games from the 70s and 80s. It makes me want to go and play some and roll some dice for those seasons. So lately I've been buying a lot of those 80s seasons and learning about the 80s ball players. So I'm doing this right now, but I'm probably going to take a short break from Payoff Pitch for a couple of days. I'm going to get into APBA. I want to start it. I bought the 1983 set, and I want to play some APBA games. APBA plays very, very fast. You can play games in 25 minutes, 30 minutes. If you get a game where there's 2 good pitchers, and they're mowing down batters, you can play a very, very quick game with APBA. So that's the nice thing about it. So I want to do that. Plus, a new member of our community, Robert. Robert, it's a bunch of numbers. I don't remember, 666 or something like that. And he wants to see how APBA plays because he's considering. I told him, APBA plays. APBA's a fun game. What the heck? APBA's a fun game. Plays fast, simple, abstracted. Most of everything is abstract. Not a lot of, if you want a lot of detail, you got a master game. A master game is a bumpy ride for sure. Master game is like, riding a Jeep, over a rugged terrain. I'll tell you. Now, some guys got really good at it. Hey, anything you play all the time, you can become a master at. Okay. Like I play about 7 or 8 different games, so I'm kind of fumbling through some of them until I start warming up after a couple of days. Then I get really quick. But you can, the brain, it takes a while for the brain to kind of pick up and learn, right? Or remember even. Once I don't play a game for a month or 2 months or 3 months, I get back to it and I said, how does this game work again? And then after playing it a little bit and looking at the rules quickly and just, thinking for a second, then I'm like, yeah, I remember how this plays. I remember how that works. And what we're doing right here is we're setting up the Phillies before we set up a APA game, and then we're going to play APA. We're going to play the 1983 Mets. It's going to be Tom Seaver facing Steve Carlton, 1983. This is the year that the Mets get Seaver back, and Mets are not very good, but they start bringing together Hernandez. They pick up Hernandez. He joins them, I think, in June 15th. They get Strawberry's rookie season. Okay. So this is when they start putting that pitching staff together as well. Slowly but surely. They're going to get Gooden in 84. And they have Sisk, who's going to be, go on to be a big part of their 86 and 87 teams and 85 teams. 85 wins, 84 and 85 win close to 90 games, if not 90 games. So we're setting up the Philadelphia Phillies here. So what we're going to do quickly is we're going to transition over to the APA game, which I have over here to my right. And it just comes in a booklet. I bought a new booklet today because my old booklet got warped. I went to a hotel and there was a refrigerator next to the desk that I was using. There was a fridge next to the desk that I was using. And at some point, somehow the book fell between the desk and the refrigerator. And the refrigerator was leaking. So the floor there was all wet. So the book got all wet. And that, I was not happy. It became somewhat warped. Still usable. I've been using it for a couple of years. But every time I go, I want it to lay flat. And it's kind of all warped. So it won't lay flat. And it's the kind of like thick, glossy card. So it just disappointed me. So I didn't want to have it that way. So I said, let me get a new book. I found one with shipping and everything for $15. Actually $16 because I paid the PayPal fee. You got to throw in an extra $1 or $2 for the PayPal fee. Guys do it for me. I do it for guys. Because otherwise we got to share in those expenses. All of a sudden they have PayPal fees. They're friends now. They got smart. Eventually they charge for everything. Doesn't matter what it is. Okay. Remember when cable originally was commercial free? Yeah, cable, right, started off commercial free. There was no commercials. That was the whole gimmick. Hey, you're going to buy TV, but guess what? You're not going to have to watch commercials. And you're going to get all these programs and all these channels and all these movies, and you can get porn and you can get everything you want. All right. And then what happened? Now it's all commercials. And we're still paying for it. See how they do it? You give them. This is how it works. This is how the whole system works. Capitalism works like that. First, you give something out for free. You get a person hooked, and then you charge them for it. And you keep on raising the price. And once they need it, once it becomes part of their life, then now it's hard for them to say no to it. See, they know exactly what they do. It's like a drug. You feed the person the drug for free, right? Until they become hooked, and now you start charging them. And every time they come, and the more hooked they get, the more you raise the price. Just a few years ago, Netflix was $8. Now it's like what, 14, 15? And in a couple of years it'll be 20 and 22 and 26 and 28 and 40. And meanwhile, everybody's getting paid the same. They don't raise their wages unless there's so much commotion in society. That they're forced to out of just sheer embarrassment. But then what they do is they take away benefits. So they lay off workers, they buy some technology to replace more workers. So they raise the salaries of a handful of workers, but then they hurt a larger group of workers by, laying them off and, reducing the workforce, eliminating benefits, cutting back on sick days. So, and it's not that they don't have the money. They have the money. They're making incredible profits. I mean, they're making obscene profits, but they want to continue to make obscene profits, and they have to increase those profits every quarter, right? So quarterly, they got to show profits because otherwise their stocks, what happened there? We had a little problem. I don't want that to happen. Let me see. There and there. So that's what's happening with that. And we're finishing up cutting the Phillies. Now, I had a conversation with on the APA forum with a gentleman named Chris White, who's having a convention at the end of July, August 30th. July 30th, August 1st, and we had a little bit of a back and forth. I mentioned that nowhere on the flyer does it talk about what's safety precautions are you taking to ensure that anybody who attends is going to be safe. I mean, are you wearing masks? Or do you have social distancing? Do you have glass up? What have you done to make sure that these people, our family, our tabletop baseball and sports gaming family, you don't spread the disease and they all go home to their families and get everybody sick, and then and we're many of us are at the age of being in danger. We're not 17. Where maybe there's not so much danger for those kids if they're healthy, right? If you have asthma and all out, then it could be a problem. What the heck? How did that happen? Wow, Jesus, terrible, 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 terrible. I don't know why it's doing that. It's weird. I cleaned it up before, and then all of a sudden it's fine. And that was who? Oh, I'll fix it. I got a minute. These are PDFs. I write on these. I don't care too much about these. Yeah. And then, all right, so we're almost done here. And hey there, man. So we printed out the PDFs, and it's a little bit of a process to print out the PDFs from Payoff Pitch because they come in seems like all different sizes, and some don't have lines. If you print out the wrong ones, you got to be cautious. Because I had to throw away a bunch of sets because they came all really large cards. Wow, look at that. That got messed up. That one got messed up. I don't know why. Let's cut him off, clean him up a little bit. No, you can still see all his numbers, but Edgar Garcia, 37 games with a 6 ERA. He doesn't deserve to have a nice card. Jose Alvarez. Oh, Jose Alvarez does. He's a lefty specialist. All right. Hopefully we can get through this last sheet without damaging anybody. Let's see. Okay, that was the first cut. That worked. Dude, this is a long cut here. It's a long cut. All right. And then we're almost done. And this came out good. This didn't get damaged. It didn't mess up. I spoke too soon. Nick Pivetta got beat up there terribly. Nick Pivetta. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can salvage this last set. See, now it cuts perfect. I don't understand it. I don't understand what's happening. I'm going to get a new one of these. I'm going to order one today. It'll come in maybe tomorrow or the next day. Yeah, those cuts were perfect. See that? I don't understand it. It's maybe something that I'm doing. Who knows? Oh, I forgot to do the edges. Forgot to do that side. That's okay. All right. So this is going to be it. This is the Phillies. Phillies, a 3-game set against the Phillies. That's going to be fun. Pivetta took a beating. Wow. was in a car crash. All right. And that's going to be it. So we're going to set up APA now. We're going to play the 1983 Mets. The season I'm going to use, I'm not going to be able to use replay because they don't have the 83 season. So I have to use Stratomatic, which is a little bit of a pain to input information because you got to hit a lot of numbers. Like if the ball goes to short, you got to hit, 6, then you got to hit 4, then you got to hit 3. You have to hit ground out. So you got to hit all these different buttons. So it's a little bit of a drag. But what are you going to do? I don't have a choice because there's only really two systems where you can input. You can roll and then input, and then have the system play out for you. Play the whole. I like it when it sims the season for me, so I can have all the races, all the leaders. It keeps track of all my stats. So all I got to do is, do this kind of stuff, this easy, fun stuff, right? So I'm gonna get a new cutter because I don't know, something's up with this cutter. It's not working right. So that's going to be it. That's going to be the, and I have some more here. Yeah. Let's see, I have some damaged cards on top. I think Pavetta really took a beating. Yeah, and I can't save that. All I could probably do is put a little tape on it. That's what I'm going to do in a minute. Let's see if I have tape on the other side. No tape there. I know where the tape is. It's just not in here right now. So anyway, this is CP Cards and Dice. I hope you enjoyed the entertainment. I will see you guys in a little bit. We'll be rolling some APA. So take care.